Well, good day, everybody. This is Brandon, Little NC Farmer, coming to you again today. I'm trying to get situated here, but gonna try to do something different time. And yes, I've been sick, but today is actually August the 24th, 2021, making this a day before it actually comes out. But I do feel better today. I managed to work last night, and I've had the dreaded thing that everybody, been talking about a lot, or at least I'm going by symptoms, because I don't trust going into certain places, if you know what I mean. But anyway, just thankful that I'm able to sit here today and come to you and be able to share with you. I appreciate all the comments and people get well wishes, things of that nature. Guys, I appreciate that so much. And I appreciate your prayers as well. Can't say that enough. And so, but we are, I think, coming around. I'm a little short-winded. I guess that goes with it. But other than that, I'm still above water. Just put it like that. And I am weak. I will say that. I'm very weak. I guess all that goes along with it. But one thing, and I'll share this little tidbit of information, or at least it worked for me. Something that I have found that you could eat to go along with this is watermelon. Watermelon has a lot of electrolytes in it. It's all natural, and that is the one thing that I could eat that would not make me sick on my stomach. A lot of the other stuff I would eat would tend to make me nauseated for whatever reason. And you guys, y'all know how much I love my coffee. Well, there was a thing I noticed when I would drink a cup of coffee. Now, it hadn't bothered me today so far, but I would, within just minutes of starting a cup of coffee, I would start sweating. I mean, literally just sweat rolling out the top of my head. I don't know what the deal was with that. So I had to kind of back off on my coffee a little bit. But thankfully, I can do that today. But anyhow, we want to get right into our something different time. And I've got some video footage that I'm going to tack on to the end of this. I was picking some of the greasy beans before I got sick, and I was actually going to do a video on cooking them, what they look like when they were cooked. And guys, I loved them. They were delicious, but I felt so bad the day that I put them on and cooked them. I just did not feel like dragging the camera out and fooling with all that. But I did get some footage of me picking them. So I'm going to put that up at the end of this and let you watch that. And hopefully, but the greasy beans done great. I can't grumble. Now my other beans, that the Jade Bush beans that's in the containers, they're starting. I've got little beans now on there, but that's the only thing left. And then out in my garden, I've just the okra and the pepper. That's it. Everything else is pretty well gone. I've just not felt like getting in there cleaning it out, but that's got to be done shortly, and so we can hopefully maybe get us some fall crops, some collards and broccoli, and maybe some curly leaf mustard, things of that nature. Have something for fall and winter. But anyway, that's where that lies there. But our weather, it's been hot. We'll say that. Humid. That's typical August, and we've been getting a little shower of rain just about every evening last week. Now, I don't think we got anything yesterday evening, but Sunday evening we did get a shower of rain, and I think, prior to that we was getting just a little shower of the evening. So we're not hurting for water right now, and the grass is growing to go along with it. So, but anyway, I want to get into my topic today, and I just want to share a story with you, something that happened in my life. I was thinking about it. We talk about the sickness and all that's going on, and this happened a little over 18 years ago, and it's a true story. My youngest son, he turned 18 this past year, and when he was about 5 weeks old, which was been around the 1st of May, he came down with a virus called the RSV virus, and we had never heard of it. Didn't even know there was such a thing. And I think it was like on Friday that week, he began to have a lot of issues with, breathing, and just didn't feel good. He was real irritable. And then Saturday rolled around, it was getting worse. And Saturday night, I think my mom and dad, they came and stayed with us that Saturday night. And he was real cranky, real fussy all night long. And my wife and my mother both kind of took turns trying to rock him and different things, to get him to sleep. And he just would not do it. But anyway, on over in the morning, he started quietening down. And based on what my mother was telling me. And I got up, I think it was right around 6 on Sunday morning. And I got up and I came in to the living room there. My mother had him in the rocking chair, and she had dozed off to sleep. And I wanted to check on him. And I leaned over and I looked, and guys, the first thing I saw was his lips. They were a pale gray, bluish gray. His face was severely not color right, no color in it really at all. And just to be honest, death was slowly setting in. And so I knew I had to act fast. So I woke my wife up. I told her, I said, get ready, get dressed. I said, he's going to the emergency room now. And ordinarily, I'm not a collected, calm, cool person, but I guess it was just the good Lord took over the situation, and I managed to remain collected, calm, and cool, which is not my normal way. But we got him together. We got him in the car seat. We loaded him in the car, and we took off. And of course, it's not but about 10 minutes from here anyway. But we went straight on through town, went right to the emergency room, and we went into the entrance there, and a lady come and, to check us in. And she took one look. She knew that the situation was in dire straits. And so she took him on back, and I can't remember, me and my wife, we filled out all the necessary information. And they began to just hold oxygen under his nose. And believe it or not, he actually began to come around once they did that. And so anyway, at that time we didn't know really what was going on. We just knew that he was, sick. But they took him on back, and they had us to set out in a little waiting area there, and they would frequently stop in and let us know, anything we needed to know. And make a long story short, I think I had went and called our family to kind of let them know what was going on, and if we knew anything different, we would let them know. And eventually a guy said, came and told us, he said, y'all just prepare for a long day, because we're going to be taking him to the Brenner Children's Hospital, which is in Winston-Salem, which was about 45 minutes to an hour away at that time. And so that's what we did. I think we finally left from here it was going on noon, I don't know, on up in the late morning. And they still haven't found out, what was going on, what was causing all of it. But they had his oxygen level stabilized a little better. He was severely dehydrated, and he was in bad shape. And anyway, we hit the road. We followed the ambulance up there, and the one thing I remember was when they put him inside that little, I forget what they call that little closed-in thing, but they put him in there. And you wonder, is that going to be the last time you ever hold your little baby? That was tough, guys. And but anyway, they put him in there, loaded him up, and we followed the ambulance on up to the hospital. They took him on back. We had to wait out in a waiting area, and I think they run some tests, different things, trying to find out, what was going on. And by late that evening, they had found out, what it was that he had. And, anyway, they came to us and told us that he would need a blood transfusion. And so we had to sign the paperwork, for all that to take place. And so they did that later on that evening, and he really came around. They said that he had come to sometime during the night and just ripped out all the tubes, the IVs, everything that he had in him. He tore all that loose. So we knew then that he was a fighter, and that we felt pretty confident that he would be okay. And so there's a little sweat bee lit on that camera up there. But anyway, he stayed up there for, I think it was 11 days, something like that. And of course he had a feeding tube down his throat, so he wasn't able to make any sound or anything like that. And he was like that for, I think, maybe not quite a week. I can't remember exactly for sure, but something like that. And I remember when they removed that tube, my wife had called me and told me that they had taken it out. I was at work, and she said, "Can you hear him?" And he could just barely cry. And but it was such a blessing to hear him cry again. And but I remember when I would go in up there, he had the little oxygen thing. They still had that, giving it to him. And when I would walk in the room, he would never take his eyes off of it. And I've never forgotten that. And anyway, long story short, our pastor at the time had talked to us in regarding to anointing him with oil and praying that God might heal him. And so this was after he came home from the hospital. And so we did that. We took him to church that Sunday night. Pastor, he brought a message out of James chapter 5. Talks about, is there any sick among you? Let them call for the elders and anoint them with oil. And so that's what we did. And I think the next day or two after that, my wife had to take him back to our family physician for a checkup. And the doctor couldn't find nothing. He said his lungs was clear. And so God healed my little baby boy. And I just give him the praise for that. And hope y'all can hear me okay. I'm trying to talk as loud as I can. I know there's a lot of traffic on the road this morning. But I wanted to share that because it's a positive story. It starts out sad, but it's a positive story. And I also want to have this on record that maybe both of my boys can look it up and hear me tell it, because I've not told it in a long time. And but I'm thankful for that part of my life. It was a tough thing to go through, but yet I got to see God in a way that most people will never get to see God. And I don't take it for granted. And I'm just thankful for that experience in our life. And so anyway, guys, that's kind of what I wanted to share with you today. And if there's ever a time we need to call out on God for help, now's the time. And that's just all I can say. But I wanted to share that story with you. And we'll try to put some footage of me picking those beans, and hopefully y'all can maybe glean something from that, I hope. And hopefully we'll be back to making some videos, hopefully shortly. Get something going on this week and have something to put out. And I've got a lot that needs to be done. It's just finding the time to do it. And so anyway, but guys, I appreciate all your kind comments again. I appreciate everything, your prayers, everything, guys. I appreciate it so much. And so guys, y'all have a great day, and thank you from Little NC Farmer. Enjoy the rest of the video, guys. Well, good morning, guys. We're out here this morning at our greasy beans, and thought I'd try to see what I could pick off of them. Now, I want to say, from my recollection now, if I remember right, I put 5 seeds to each container, and I've got 3 containers, and so that's 15 seeds all total. So these may be small. I don't know. This is my first time of trying greasy beans, so I don't know when they need to get. They look kind of flat looking to me, but I'm going to try to pick off what I can from up here, and then I'll go down to the ground level and get those. Okay guys, let's go down to the ground level and see what we can find. Now this is what I got from up top. So, and this first vine right here, I'm not sure guys what's going on with it. I say that's heat stress. I don't know, but I think it's just about played out. The other two are doing fine, so I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick the rest of this off, and I'll show you what I end up with when I'm done. My gosh, guys, they are hanging up in there in the back. Thick. Some of them are short. Some of them are not filling out, and I'm going to just go ahead and grab them. Alright. Alright guys, right there is roughly, that's good, you know, for a little mess to cook for a meal. Off of 15 seeds, roughly. So I'm going to go in and string these and break them up. Some of them will probably shell out. I don't know, we'll just see. And we'll go from there.